Alright, this is Draffet Store, and today is July 3rd. One day before 4th of July, and 4 days before Silva Sonin 2. Now, with that, I said we're going to be doing MMA and martial arts and a Bigfoot thing at the end of the month. Alright, so next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be played by ear, but this week is MMA. Now, I've been a fan on and off of MMA since UFC started back roughly almost 20 years ago. Now, that said, mixed martial arts have been going on for at least 100 years. There's been other tournaments, lesser, not as like this, with wrestlers versus judo practitioners versus jiu-jitsu artists. And a few martial arts that are actually combined of at least 2 or 3 different styles. And I mean, it even being one of those, like I said, Bruce Lee thing, which again I will do another one in November for him for his what would have been 72nd birthday. But with that said, Jeet Kune Do could technically be considered mixed martial art. But we're here. Here we're talking about the current, style of the octagon. Been around, like I said, for about give or take 20 years, thanks to the Gracie family. And then when it started floundering about 10 years ago, or a little earlier than that, thanks to Dana White and his parent company. And then it spawned Pride. MMA has also spawned Pride, Strike Force, WEC, IFC, or IFL, International Fight League. And a number of these have been either disbanded or bought up by, Dana and his company. But in the whole, mixed martial arts has added culturally has added a new flavor to the coffee pot. And it's worked great. I mean, you can't walk into a Walmart without seeing some kind of shirt that is MMA inspired. Whether it's the UFC's own brand of clothes, Tap Out's clothes, or whatever. I mean, it's actually pretty much taken over this for boxing. I mean, yeah, people still talk about boxing. Boxing's still big. I mean, likes of Money Mayweather, one of my very least favorite boxers, Manny Pacquiao, and whole host of others. But it's got its niche now. I mean, there's mixed martial arts dojos popping up all over the place. I mean, over here in Michigan, in my area, I won't say how many there are in Wayne County or Oakland County, because I really don't know. But over here, we've had at least 2 or 3. One of our local flea market-ish things, a couple months ago, actually hosted an MMA fight on a Friday or Saturday night. I mean, like I said, it's been popping up, and we got KFC or KFWs hosting them. You know, and it's big money. People enjoy it, and it's actually come over to being where you got kids as young as 5 years old, practicing MMA, and not karate, not taekwondo, not kung fu, not jiu-jitsu or any of those, MMA. So which is, pretty cool. Uh, Now I won't necessarily say, who I want to win Saturday. I will say this: the one that doing all the trash talking didn't win the fight the first time, and no matter what the experts and Joey Rogan said, had a unique perspective on that fight, and he wasn't winning it. So, with that said, I won't jinx anything. Knock on wood. Yes, I am superstitious. But it's made stars of, Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Tito Ortiz, Forrest Griffin, Uriah Faber, and giving other people hope. Maybe they tried boxing and they weren't really good at the footwork and getting all the, but they got a little bit of the basics for the striking, and then went and did this and found out, hey, I'm awesome on the ground game, or I'm awesome on the kicking. My take, I love it. When it first came out, I was getting Inside Kung Fu, Black Belt Magazine, left and right. Just every time I heard UFC 1, UFC 2, UFC 3, and which was actually hosted here in Detroit. It was cool. It was new, and then it progressed and flowered, and now got big name stars always going to these fights. You know, Learning before always the Grace family. There was just jiu-jitsu. There was no Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Unless you were in that niche, the martial arts niche, where you were doing the tournaments like K1, K1 or the kickboxing and stuff. You didn't hear about it. Gracie's brought Brazilian jiu-jitsu into the mix. And now you got fighters who are getting good at wrestling, doing kickboxing, or taking taekwondo, mixing it up, getting a little bit of the boxing into it, so they got pretty good striking, and hell, we had here it's a festival called Stars and Stripes, which was just over this past weekend. I think it was last year or the year before. They were having little demonstrations at the fairgrounds. A couple of guys practice it. Not real sparring. They're just going through the moves. Doing takedowns and stuff like that. So they're getting interest and stuff. So it's it's there, and it's awesome. It's sweet. My thing is, I've noticed though, a lot of fighters that do fight, in MMA, whether it's the Octagon for UFC or WEC or Strikeforce, don't always do as well in the traditional ring. And then you've got guys that, and I hate to say it, and I love Fedor. he's awesome in a square ring. Okay. Get him in the cage and, well, his stats show for himself. But it's like that for a lot of things. I mean, there's a couple of boxers that they tried getting in kickboxing, 30 years ago. Couldn't do it. And then, went over the same way. They had a couple kickboxers that tried to do the striking with the punching, and, taking the striking from the kicks out and do the punching, and yeah, it didn't fare well. But I mean, it's up at with the UFC, it's up at 148. I mean, like 10, 12 years ago, and it didn't look like it was going to go to 148. Okay, the main two you had was K1 and Pride. That you knew was going to be, giants. We got movies like the one Kevin James is coming out where the school teachers, takes on the MMA to help this thing out. There's been real life teachers that got suspended for doing it. So it's there. It gives hope to people. It gives, a new gladiatorial sport to people. But with that, because I am running a little along, I do like a lot of this 148's card. My favorite choices, like I said, I don't like some of them whatsoever, so you already know what that one is. Forrest Griffin, I like. I'm not knocking anything for Tito Ortiz because he's actually a really good fighter. I just don't like his personality that whole much. Chung Lee, I've seen 1 or 2 fights. Patrick Cote, I think I've seen 1 or 2 fights, so it's not one of those ones I can go, I like this one better or not. And then the rest of them, I really, honestly don't like boxing. I really don't know, a lot of these up and comers until they get, their shot at the title. But with that, this is draffet. This is draffet store. Next week it's a freebie, so whatever's on my mind, this is what's going to be posted. But after that, following week, like I said, this is going to be on Bruce Lee for this whole death thing. And the following week after that is Bigfoot, because here in Michigan we have for the 26th, 27th, and 28th a Bigfoot convention, and disclaimer, I have nothing to do with it. It's just, because I like Bigfoot and I got, it's in my hometown or home state, so have fun.